The first thing I want you to do is plot the vertices of the triangle, misspelt. So make a quick little sketch of what that would look like, and then we'll talk about finding the lengths of each side. So here's my triangle, and you're going to notice that the vertices of the triangle are labeled with capital letters. Then the side lengths across from those triangles, or across from those vertices, are actually the lowercase letters. So if I go and label those, this one across from angle A would be little a, or side A, which we'll calculate. Across from angle B would be lowercase b, or side B. And across from C would be little c, or side C. Now I purposely picked the coordinates that I did so that we have some vertical and horizontal lines, and therefore for side A and B we can just count our units from one vertice to the other. So if you go ahead and count your units for side A, that's between vertices C and B, we would get a length of 5, or 5 units. And if you count your units of side B, which would go from A to C, we would get 6 units. So this is my 6, this is my 5. Because this is a right triangle, when we go to find side C, you're hopefully going to remember that we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared, or 5 squared plus 6 squared equals c squared, 25 plus 36, which is 61. And therefore C is going to be root 61. Notice I didn't end up putting the plus minus because it is impossible to have a negative side length for a triangle. So what I'm going to do next is basically look at the triangle but in a more general way, and we're going to get what is called our distance formula. So I will write down what that distance formula is first. So I'm going to say P sub 1, P sub 2, meaning the distance between 2 points, is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 quantity squared plus y2 minus y1 quantity squared. So our proof for that, if I was to draw a similar triangle to what I had up above, another right triangle, where this is side A, this is side B, and this is side C. I'm going to call the top point a random x1, y1. If I drop straight down, I'm going down, but not left or right. So my coordinate for my x is going to stay the same, but my coordinate for my y is going to change. And then if I'm going from that point to the right, I'm moving left or right, so my x coordinate is going to change, but my y coordinate is not. So that one would be x2, y2. And now what I'm going to do is think about what the length of each of those sides are. So if I'm looking for side A, the length of side A, because I'm moving left or right and not up or down, is going to be the difference between the two coordinates, or the x2 minus x1, to get me the length. And then side B, similarly, but I'm moving up and down. The y's are changing, not the x's. To calculate the distance of that side of the triangle, it's going to be the change in the y's, or y2 minus y1. And therefore, when I'm thinking about side C and using Pythagorean theorem, it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm getting x2 minus x1 quantity squared plus y2 minus y1 quantity squared is equal to c squared. And then of course, to get c by itself, we're square rooting both sides. So it's the square root of the change in x's squared plus the change in y squared. So the distance formula is simply coming from the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is have us practice. So here's what you can fill in these lines. I want you to go ahead and calculate the distance between point A, which is going to be -2, 6, and point B, which is going to be 3, 7. Okay, so after plugging in to the distance formula, I end up getting the square root of 26 units. Now I'm going to go back to example 1, and that's at the top with our side A, B, and C, and I want to find the midpoint of side B. So let me scroll back up, and say that I'm looking for right in the middle of this example up here of B. So if we're thinking about the total distance being 6, then we know halfway would be 1, 2, 3 down, or 1, 2, 3 up. So the midpoint of this specific example is going to be -1, 2. So come down here and fill that in, -1, 2. Now how we would actually calculate that is we would find the average of the x's and the average of the y's. So if I actually want to mathematically calculate it, and we're thinking about the distance between those 2 points, this was -1, 5 up here, and this was -1, -1. I'm looking to find the middle of the x coordinates, and so just like we do with test grades, we could average them together. So it's the x1 plus x2 divided by 2. And then we'll do the same thing for the y's. So y1 plus y2 divided by 2. And there is our -2 over 2, or -1, and 4 over 2, or 2. So that brings me to the actual midpoint formula. The midpoint formula is, as I said on the front, the average of the x's, so x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, the average of the y's, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So I'm going to find the midpoint of segment AB in example number 2 above. So recall from the front, we had the points -2, 6 and 3, 7. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So the average of the x's, -2 plus 3, all over 2, and the average of the y's, 6 plus 7, all over 2. So that's going to give us 1/2, comma, 13/2. So I would now like you to try practicing with both formulas, the distance and the midpoint, and I want you to find those for the 2 given points here. 1/2, comma, 3, and 1/4, comma, 4. So I'm going to have you pause the video, and then I will put my work and answer down for you to check when you're done. Okay, so your answer for that, for the distance, should be √17 over 4 units, and your midpoint should be 3/8, comma, 7/2. Please keep your answers exact unless otherwise stated. And last but not least, it says using algebra, find the coordinates of f if 1/2, comma, -5/4 is the midpoint of segment FG, and G has coordinates of 4, -7. So when it says using algebra, I'm looking for you to actually come up with equations that would support your answer in order to find the coordinates of F. So I'm actually going to draw a visual just to help us with this here. So it says I have segment FG, and somewhere in the middle I have the midpoint. It tells me that the midpoint is 1/2, comma, -5/4, and it tells me that G is 4, -7. So my unknown is my F, so I'm actually going to call that X and Y. And if I know my endpoints, I can find the average of my endpoints and set it equal to the answer for the midpoint. So I'm going to say X plus 4 divided by 2, comma, Y plus -7 divided by 2, and that needs to equal the answer 1/2, -5/4. So from there, I can use algebra and just show the x coordinate equals the x coordinate. And if I multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of the denominators, we can then solve and get x equals -3. And then I can set the y coordinate equal to the y coordinate. So y minus 7 divided by 2 equals -5/4. This time I'll multiply both sides by 4, also known as cross multiplying if you want to do it that way also. So 4y is equal to 18, and then y equals 18/4, which would reduce to 9/2. So our answer for coordinate F is -3, comma, 9/2. Please make sure that you've watched this video in entirety and have filled in the notes packet. So that is what I will be checking when I see you next time. Have a great rest of your night.